Hey there, Amy Starr Allen here, and in this video today I'm going to be talking about what I would do differently if I was starting my business over today from scratch. So if you've been following me for a while, you might know that I've been marketing online as an online entrepreneur for over 20 years. So I've had a home-based business for 20 years. I've been involved in a number of different types of businesses. I have tried a lot of different marketing strategies, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of changes happen in the industry, in the home-based business industry, since I started 20 years ago. You know, with the changes in technology, for example, the way that we market online is completely different than it was when I started 20 years ago. I'll give you an example. 20 years ago when I started, one of the marketing strategies that I did on a regular basis was called article marketing, which was a strategy where you would write an article, not video, just writing an article, and then you would put it through a software called an article spinner, which would basically take your article and make it into like hundreds of versions of the same article with different words so that you could post it in different places and not have it show up as duplicate content. And it was a very monotonous strategy that took a lot of work and was not super creative. It wasn't very fun. Compared to 20 years later, here we are with platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels, where we can shoot this quick little video, 7 seconds long or 1 minute long, and add music and add, cool text and captions and all of this stuff, and be super creative and get the same, if not even better results than we used to get with a lot more work 20 years ago when I started online. And when I started online, I was committed to figure it out and to make it work no matter what. I had a really strong why, right? I became a single mom abruptly when I went through a divorce. I had 2 small children, a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. And I knew that I didn't want to have to go get a job that was going to require me to be away from my kids. I didn't want to miss a beat in my kids' lives. So I was willing to do whatever it took to learn how to do this online marketing thing. And it wasn't as easy back then as buying a course and just learning what you need to know, in a day for a couple $100 or whatever. It required me getting on an airplane and going to events where there were seminars happening that I could learn the information that I wanted to learn. So I'm completely self-taught. I've done a lot of things in the last 20 years. I've made money in a lot of different ways over these 20 years. I've done network marketing, I've done affiliate marketing, I've created my own courses, I've done consulting work, I've built websites for people. I've done a lot of different things. And so in this video today, really what I want to talk about is if I was starting over from scratch in this day and age with the way things are now, with technology and everything that I know now, after all of this experience, what would I do if I was starting over from scratch? And when I thought about that question, it's actually pretty simple. It's a pretty simple answer, because when I think about the different income streams that I've created over the years, the amount of work they took side by side with how much I got paid for the work that I was doing, what I found that's, what's happening right now, something that I'm involved with right now, makes way more sense than any of that stuff I've done in the past ever did. So let me give you an example. One of the first businesses I had when I first got started online was in network marketing. And even back then, I was committed to making it work. I was committed to succeeding. And I did succeed in it. But what it took was a lot different than some of the stuff that we can do today. So in my particular network marketing company, now all network marketing companies have different comp plans, and I'm not here to knock the network marketing industry. I'm not in it anymore. I don't want to be in it anymore. But it's a great industry. I'm still a customer for a lot of different companies because I love their products. And I like to support some of my friends that are in those companies by being a customer and purchasing their products every month. But I don't do network marketing anymore as an income stream. And the reason is because of what I've learned over the years. So when I was in network marketing, the comp plan that I was involved in, just to give you an example, was on the first level, meaning the people that I personally brought into the company, I got paid a 5% commission. And that was residual. That was month after month for anything that they ordered on auto ship. I got paid a 5% commission for my own production. The majority of my income came, or the highest percentage of my income came from the second level. So on the second level, I got paid 40% commission. So what that meant was that in order for me to get those higher commissions, I had to sponsor people myself, and then I had to motivate and educate and inspire the people that I brought in and help them to duplicate, to bring in people themselves, because that was the only way that I was ever going to get into a full-time income, was if I could build that second level, right? And I did it, but again, knowing everything that I know now, I would not do it that way now. What I learned from doing that is that I didn't really enjoy that. I didn't enjoy knowing that my income was dependent on other people's production, and that in order for me to earn a living, I had to motivate other people to do what they needed to do. And my livelihood depended on that. My family's income depended on that. And I didn't like that. And in order for me to get into a full-time income doing that, I had to sponsor a lot of people myself, because not everybody, a lot of times in the network marketing industry, they say just get two, who get two, and that kind of thing. But that's not the reality. The reality is you don't sponsor two people and then both of those people are going to be off to the races and, in tons of action and producing lots of sales. That's typically not how it works. What usually happens is the people at the top in the network marketing industry usually are people who have personally sponsored hundreds of people. And out of those hundreds of people, a couple of people will be producers. And if you have a couple big producers on your team, you can make a lot of money, but it takes sponsoring hundreds of people in order to be able to do that, in order to really, maximize the comp plan. So that's the reality of it. And that's part of the reality that a lot of people don't talk about in the network marketing industry. Even the leaders that are making all of the money, who have sponsored hundreds of people, a lot of times they're still advertising it as just get two, who get two. And so that's just not the reality. And they don't even tell you oh, by the way, I sponsored 100 people or 200 people. I didn't just sponsor two to get where I'm at. The other thing that I wasn't a fan of with that model was that I had to be available all the time for three-way calls and to help my team close sales. It was like a full-time job to do that. Back then we did a lot of work on the phone, so it was just a lot of three-way calls and that kind of thing, which was what caused the sales to happen. So that was how I spent the majority of my day, was supporting my team in that way. And I wasn't, it worked and I did it, but again, just not a fan of that. To me, it's just not the best use of my time. I personally would rather be able to predict my income based on my own personal production. And so, that's what I do now. And if I was starting over from scratch, that's the business model that I would start with. It's probably the only business model that I would even do because it just makes a lot more sense. So let me explain how that works. So now, today, the majority of my income comes from affiliate marketing. And I'm in a company that has 4 streams of income. 3 of them are residual, meaning recurring commissions that come in month after month, because 3 of their products are subscription-based products. So when I make a sale once, as long as that customer continues to renew their subscription every month, which many people do because we have amazing products, I get that commission over and over and over again every single month. And there is no second level or beyond. It's just one level. So because there's only one level, I'm only getting paid on my own personal production. And what's cool about that is the company doesn't have to divide up the income between multiple levels, which means they can pay out more on the front end. And the company that I'm with happens to be owned by a couple of my friends who are very, high integrity guys who also Their goal when they started this company was to, first of all, they started it because they saw a lot of things in the industry that they didn't like, as did I. I was actually getting ready to exit the home-based business industry when they started this company, just because I had seen so many companies changing comp plans or going out of business, or having company ownership change where I would be in a company and then new owners would come in that I wasn't in alignment with, and it was just, I just felt like I was constantly starting over and spinning my wheels. And I saw a lot of people in the industry that were kind of, let's just say, didn't have everyone's best interest in mind, like a lot of competition in a negative way. And I was just tired of it. And my friends started this company, and one of the things that they decided that they wanted the company to be about was helping people have freedom faster. So in order to do that, they decided to build it in a way that they could keep the overhead low enough, only pay out on one level, and be able to pay out super high commissions, because they have low overhead and they're not dividing the commissions up between multiple levels. So in this program that I'm now a part of, we get paid 80% commissions for every sale on all 4 of the products. Like I said, there are 4 products, 3 of them pay residual commissions, 1 of them is a one-time commission. But getting paid 80% commission on my own production, for me, makes so much more sense. Because what that means, it's a straight 80% commission. It's not some complicated comp plan where it's impossible to do the math, because the math depends on what this person's going to do and what that person's going to do and all these different levels, and there's just no way to really accurately predict anything. Where with a comp plan like this, where it's just all I'm doing is I'm referring people to the products and services that I use myself and love. I don't have to create them. I don't have to do the admin for them. I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. All I'm doing is I'm sharing what I know and love with people. And if you've been on my YouTube channel for a while, you know that, because I have so many YouTube videos about why I love these products so much, right? So that's all I do, is I share the things that I love. And for doing that, each time a sale comes in, a new customer comes in, I get paid an 80% commission on each of the products that they purchase. And many people will buy all 4 of the products, which is awesome. So one of the products pays $20 commission per month. One pays $100 commission per month. One pays an $8 commission per month. So if someone comes in on all the products, I make $128 in residual income per person per month that I refer. And then we have another product that pays either a $400 or an $800 one-time commission, depending on if somebody purchases it in the window where they can get a 50% discount or not. So those are just extra $400 and $800 commissions. But those $128 per month commissions per person add up really quickly. I know a lot of people that are, building a network marketing company and getting paid those 5% or maybe 10% for their own personal production. And what happens with that is the dollar amount that's coming in is so much smaller than what I'm getting paid with an 80% commission, where I'm not relying on anybody else's productivity for me to get paid. So it takes me way less sales to make the same amount of money as it would take them. And B, I'm not relying on anybody else. I can actually calculate how many customers I need to get to a certain income goal. So I'll show you some quick math just so that you can better understand why I love this. And I'll say, I love it because I truly, I use the products every single day. I love them so much. I swear by them. People are going to ask me about them anyway. I might as well share them. I'm not just selling stuff to make a commission. That's not it at all. I'm sharing stuff that I actually use and love. Okay, so I love that about it. But again, I also really love that I get paid 80% commissions, that a lot of those commissions are recurring, and that I can actually do simple math to figure out any income goal that I want to hit. So this is how simple the math is. Again, because all of the commissions are straight 80% and the products pay $20, $100, and $8. So if you were to just sell, the $25 product, you'd make a $20 commission. If you were to sell the $125 product, you'd make a $100 commission. And if you were to sell the $10 product, you get an $8 commission. But let's just keep the math simple and say, okay, so what we want to do is figure out how many people that we need to bring in on all of the products, because a lot of people do buy all of the products, and we do have some really good incentives for people to own all of the products. There are a lot of good reasons to own all of the products. We have some huge benefits. We have a separate social network and all of this extra daily training going on for the people that own all of the products. We also, we always say it makes sense to have the all-in mindset. I've always been all in with everything that I've done. I believe that dipping our toe in the water does not work if we're committed to succeeding. So I always just do everything all in. And then the other piece is we only get paid on the products that we own. So if you don't own everything and you're promoting the company and people are buying products that you don't own, you're only getting paid the commission on the things that you do own, which doesn't make sense because you're leaving money on the table. Okay, so I'm just gonna round it to $128 per sale because that's what we make per person that comes in and buys all three of the residual commission, all three of the products that pay residual commission. Now there is another product, like I said, that pays one time $400 and $800 commissions. I'm not even factoring this in for this math, right? I'm just gonna do this as residual income goals. So let's say you wanted to make $3,000 per month. Residual income, meaning money that comes in even when you're not working. You've made the sale once, you get paid on it month after month, adding up to $3,000 per month. Well, the math is super simple. All you do is you divide 3,000 by 128. If you're making $128 per person per month, how many people do you need to sponsor to get to $3,000 per month? So you just divide by 128, and that comes out to 23.43. So let's say 24 customers. So if you bring in 24 customers, you're now making $3,000 a month residual. Do you see how simple that math is? And that's what I love about this. Even if somebody ends up quitting, you still know what you need to do to stay at that income level, right? There's no guesswork involved. Not to mention, again, we're not needing to rely on anybody else's productivity. We're getting paid on our own productivity. So if I know that I need to make up a couple sales to get back to where I want my income to be, then I'll just do that, right? I know how to do that. So that's how simple the math is. And then for any other income goal, if you have, you want to make $5,000 a month, you just divide 5,000 by 128, which comes out to 39. So if you sponsor 39 people, you are now at a $5,000 per month residual income. And then for 10,000, same thing, divide by 128, and it's 78 people. So if you sponsor 78 people, you are at $10,000 per month, right? And the cool thing about these products too is they don't cost a lot, so it's not like we're asking people to spend thousands of dollars to get started. We have these three products. One of them is $25, one of them is $125, and one of them is $10, right? So that's what we're talking about. So it's not the type of a decision where somebody has to get permission from their spouse or there needs to be this long drawn out conversation. As long as you know some marketing strategies and you can get the information in front of people, you'll make sales without even having to talk to them. So again, what I would do differently if I was starting over today when it comes to marketing is that I would use some of the marketing strategies that are available today. I would not do those old school strategies that I spoke about earlier. And inside of our company, we also have the $25 per month product is a funnel builder. I'm going to show you how to learn more about all of these products. I'm not going to go into full detail about them in this video today, but we have a funnel builder, which is awesome. It's what I build all of my freebies with. It's what I have all of my funnels built with. It's where I generate leads every single day in my business on autopilot using different strategies like TikTok and YouTube and so forth. The $125 per month program is basically, it's coaching. You get coaching, 7 Zoom calls per week of teaching and training and support, over the shoulder training, Q&A, live coaching. And we are here to support our members with anything at all that they need help with, any questions that they have. We're constantly teaching. We're constantly hearing from other people in the community. We have one of our masterminds each week is called the What's Working Now Mastermind, where we're bringing out different people in our community that have made sales that week just to share what they're doing, because there's so many different ways to market these days, right? And then that product, besides all the live coaching, there's also a library of marketing strategies included with that. So it makes it really easy for someone to just come in and say, like, I want to learn TikTok, and go back and learn how to do TikTok, or I want to learn YouTube and go back and learn how to do YouTube, or whatever marketing strategy that you want to learn. So unlike what I was doing when I got started, where I was having to fly around and just do what somebody told me to do, I didn't feel like I had a whole lot of options, and it definitely wasn't as easy as it is now, where we can make a 1-minute video or a 30-second video and get leads from it. It's crazy, right? So that's the other thing I would do differently, is I would learn some of these really simple marketing strategies and just be super consistent with it. Inside of our company, like I said, we have this Traffic and Conversions Academy where you can learn all of that and get all of the support that you need every day. So it's just a win-win. So that's our $125 per month product. And the $10 per month product is an app where it's good for personal development, goal setting, habit tracking, to-do lists. It has a vision board. So it's just a $10 per month app where you can just keep yourself on track with your goals and your tasks. And it's awesome. So like I said, I'm not going to go into a full-blown product explanation in this video. I just wanted to talk about some of the big differences from where how I started and what I would do if I was starting today. And this just makes the most sense to me. I mean, it's what I'm doing, but it also, to me, just makes the most sense, because why would you do something that pays you so much less per sale? You're going to do the same amount of work to make a sale. So why not get paid what you're worth on the front end? Why not get paid 80% and know that you're actually in charge of how much money you make? You're not depending on anybody below you to produce anything, And then the other thing is, rather than, a lot of people come online and they immediately want to start creating their own courses. And I love course creation, and I'm not opposed to that at all. But if I was just getting started and I wanted to keep things simple, I would do affiliate marketing, hands down, because it's so much less work. You're promoting products that you love anyway, you're getting paid commission, and you're not having to create the courses or maintain the websites or any of that. And with 80% commissions, what I always say is, I would rather get paid an 80% commission, recurring commission, on a product that I didn't have to create or maintain or do admin or customer support for, than 100% commission on my own course. And the reason is because on our own courses, we have to do the admin, we have to do any returns or all of that stuff, the website, all that stuff that comes with it. We have to build the course. We have to update the course. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into that we just don't have to do with affiliate marketing. So to me, that 80% is better than 100% on my own course, because it's much less work. I don't need any other team members to help me with anything. It's just so much more simple. So that's what I would do if I was starting over from scratch. This is exactly what I would do. And I would love to help you if you're starting from scratch, or if you're ready to start over with something more simple that works. We have an amazing community, tons of support, and I would love to help you along your way if that's something that you are interested in. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I don't want to go into this video will be too long if I go into full-blown all the details and all the things I love about each one of the products. But I will leave a link below this video where you can learn about the 3 residual income streams that I swear by, that actually are the reason that I am able to travel as much as I do and get paid even when I'm not working. I would not be without these income streams. I love this company. I love the people. I love the products. I love the income. I love that it's residual. And I will leave a link below this video where you can learn more about those income streams if that is something that is of interest to you. And if you decide to get started, I will be right here with you every step of the way. So If you have any questions, feel free to leave those below this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.